Ali, how did you deal with? Well, I sort of know because I was there, but but I'm asking you objectively. How did you deal with journalists and stuff? Were they the Brits? They referred to you as a flock of haircuts. I mean, well, just so we know, I signed a Flock of Seagulls, so I call them my band, and you know, I still feel the heartstrings with the band. But of course, Britain hated you, Ali, didn't they? They absolutely, we hated the Flock of Seagulls. Let's face it.
Yeah, we were despised over in England, and as I said, you know, I think because we made it in the States first of all. You know, the English papers didn't like that. You know, turncoats, you know, rebels, whatever. But we used to just deal with it. I mean, we had it from the beginning, so you know, we didn't really care. You know, we were playing big shows and getting good reactions elsewhere. So it was one of those things that we didn't like, but we didn't really care about it that much. You know, it's as far as we were concerned, that's just the evolution of the Flock of Seagulls. You know, hated in England. So. Well,
I sort of recall. Well, I don't sort of recall. I remember one of the greatest moments in my life was when we played Radio City. City, that's right. And we sold it out, 3,000 or 4,000 people. And it was on the day where the band had just won the Grammy for DNA, which was Best Instrumental. And I went out there as the host, and I'm going goosebumpy now, and I still can't help it. And I have to get this out. You know, Ali, I've got to say this quickly, but I went out there and said, now I'm from London. Here's four more lads from Liverpool. And the entire place went up. And that's one of the greatest moments of my life. But it was crazy, wasn't it? It was ridiculous.
Yeah. But even though the press were bashing us in England, we'd come over and play England, and we'd get good reaction from the fans. In fact, you know, one place, the Royal Court in Liverpool, when we went back to Liverpool, sold out, of course. And I always remember this because one of the moments is like, oh my God, did that really happen? We got on stage. It was my job to start the first song off, and there was a curtain up the front of the stage. Well, that was supposed to fall on the first drum beat. Did it fall? Did it hell? And I'm just drumming there, waiting for things to happen. And I think I must have done that for 5 minutes before they pulled the curtain down. It's like, and all of a sudden we had this whoosh of like emotion, because, you know, we were a Liverpool band and there's Liverpool fans. And it just like almost, I'll be honest, it nearly knocked me off the kit. It's like, oh. So I always remember that. And that was England, you know. So even though the press didn't like us, the people did, and that's what really mattered.
Yeah, and it didn't stop the hits are coming here, or in America it was massive, wasn't it? Yeah, and Brian, you've had one hit record, I think. Tell us about your hit in America.
Yeah, it was almost an accident. We're in the studios. I put this backing down for a track, you know, kind of a poppy rock track. And put the backing track down, and I went off to Australia with Loaf. And I came back, and Nick Richards, who was the vocalist in the band was Boys Don't Cry. The song was I Want to Be a Cowboy. And he just played this song to the Everly Brothers, to Don, and Don had gone crazy. He said, play it again. So he takes me up to the office, and he played I Want to Be a Cowboy. And I was just stunned, because it just, as simple as it was, I thought, Jesus, don't tell me now. This is going to be, after all the people I've played with, you know, and the tough situations I've had to go through, and I leave this ordinary backing track, what I thought, and it just became like magic. And again, like our friend there, England hated us. Mm-hmm. America loved us, but we were kind of saying, I want to be a cowboy. We were really referring to bad workers in the bathroom and kitchen. Used to call them cowboys, but it took off in the New York gay disco clubs there. That's where it started. And it eventually got in the top 10. It got to number 12, but got to 8 in Cashbox. And it was in the charts for over a year. We had a ball with that, especially in Texas, as you can imagine. We were number one for 12 weeks in Texas. And God, that was so cool. I think the ladies had something to do with that as well, just a bit. But, oh yeah, thinking about the travel, you was talking about travel before. Can I tell a really naughty story?
Oh,
Brian,
yeah.
it wouldn't be the same without a naughty Brian Chapman story.
Well, all right. We arrived in Huddersfield, me, Phill Collins, and bass player and the drummer of Flaming Youth, the band I was in before he joined Genesis. And everything was closed. It was damp, raining, and I needed to go badly. So I told this story to my daughter. She said, you just made the best of a crappy situation, Dad. You were all right. Don't worry. Because I thought it was way below the belt. So what happened is I said, okay, who's going to dare me to take a crap in front of that bus queue across the road there? I said,
No.
this is fair. It's got to be a fair bet. £1, 2 and 6 I got from the three of them. £1, 2 and 6. I said, well, what's a lousy never mind. So I had like this artificial grey coat on. Do you want to hear the rest?
Well, we've come this far, so.
So I got out of the car and I looked like a midget because I was walking on my knees to the bus queue. And I looked back at the van, and the van was literally shaking like crazy. They'd locked the door. They were looking at me through the windows, and they couldn't believe I was going to do this. So I did. I got to cross from the bus queue, and I parked my breakfast, shall we say. And the bloody thing looked like a rocket. As I stumbled over it to get back to there was snow on the floor. To get back to the van, I'd only gone like 3 knees away, and all the snow had melted around it. And I'm hearing screams and yelps, and I'm going, fuck this. So I got up and I stood and ran to the truck before the bus queue could get me. And it was locked, of course. And Phill shouts out, you've got to sing the English national anthem. So there I am, singing God Save Our Gracious Queen just to get back into the truck. So,
Well, that's
Phill was a funny guy. I'm telling you. I'm sure your friends who've met him will tell you the same thing. He's cool, very cool.
Well, I did the Live Aid thing with him, and when we were in the Concorde thing, the Concorde bit, the Concorde thing. He's a big Tony Hancock fan, and so am I. We're actually not founder members, but I was in the Tony Hancock Appreciation Society. I think 1980 on, and so we chose to speak Tony Hancock, ease. But I found him to be a very, very nice man and very funny. And the point of it is, going back to it, gentlemen, normal, which is the weird thing. Normal, whatever that is. They say normality is brought on by lack of alcohol, but he just seemed one of the lads. But as Nigel's saying, they should be just normal. But what is normal? I don't know.
When you got that much money, I'll be anything they want, I'll tell you.